Right now, we're heading into the holiday season. I worry very much about the transmission we'll see there, just as we're coming off of the Thanksgiving season, and we see an incredible number of cases coming out of those events that took place in everyone's homes. So, I mean, my first message right now is please understand, if you have a situation in your home where you have outside members of the family, people who haven't been bubbled up or quarantined for 10 to 14 days, you might not have grandpa and grandma or mom and dad again here next year for Christmas if we don't prevent the transmission from those settings. And so that's the first step. The second step, as you said, what can we do in terms of vaccine itself? Remember, the first line we're trying to protect right now are healthcare workers.
All right, good morning. What's going on?
We could really have a big impact on the number of deaths in this country quickly if long-term care facilities have a rapid uptake.
So, I'm currently in NEO.
Also, from a healthcare worker standpoint,
I got alerted on my Webull account that it had dropped below 40 at like 2 in the morning.
Always good to see you. Thank you so much for
so
your insight and your
I put my alarm on about what 10 to 4 a.m.
Stay tuned on MSNBC.
And I saw I had dropped a little bit more, and then it was gaining some momentum, and then I got in because it was really low. I know this is going to go high. I mean, and it was basically the same news of what it dropped before. So knowing NEO that it's going to go ahead and pop up as it always does. So I'm going to sell this at a 33 cents profit. Seeing as I bought into it like about 2 minutes after 4, so 4:02. You can see about in here. Everything was looking good for it to climb at least up to here, right? And then momentum lost. I bought another 2 shares, and so at 4:16. 4016. It's where the is it 416? 4016 is the resistance that it's having a hard time breaking. So as you can see right here, that's where it reached, and that was it. So I'm gonna see if we can get another third chance to get up there. We're close to it. And if not, I'm not too worried. NEO bounces back pretty nice. So I'm into NEO. I kind of knew NEO was going to drop a dollar or two more. It may drop to 38, to be honest with you, at the bell. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't, but I still feel that it's a great price to get into right now. So if we look at the other stocks that I was mentioning,
they had no idea which one saves the money. You are not an animal. Make the smart choice and switch to Sling. Get the best of cable for the best price.
Before we talk about tax smart investing, Audrey's expecting.
So Microsoft being one of them.
Change in plans.
At Fidelity, a change in plans is always part of the plan.
Road's closed. Is that the law? Little girl is lost. I'm taking them home. How much you want for her? This child is not for sale. Can't have her! And I'm taking her home!
Say Microsoft.
Christmas.
As a technical director,
some recent news broke out on it, but I do like. Look, let me show you the. Let me show you the other way.
And less visible when it doesn't. Whether you're hard at work or heading home for dinner, it's there when it matters most. We know that what we do helps more people get home safely.
Okay, so
we aspire to improve lives.
The only thing a disaster can't destroy is hope.
So the 10-day chart, you see that this massive sell-off, and then it recovered half of that. Still has ways to go, right? We take a look at the 5-minute chart. Sell off, sell off, sell off, recover halfway.
Bad credit is forever.
That sounds made up.
I'd like these items on my credit.
Well, just
Currently where it's at right now.
they don't say it.
They say
Okay.
a lot of things about credit. We say enough.
Still has room to go to 217,
Free credit evaluation from
and then from 217 to 224, being that that's the high 232 on the 180 chart.
Under $20. And now enter this exclusive TV coupon code at checkout to save up to 40%. That's readers.com.
So we definitely have room to grow. It did sell off significantly, but you know, I think it's
They'll love learning to earn.
has room to go.
Save.
And then I think what was the other one?
Great holiday and an even brighter future. Sign up today at greenlight.com.
DraftKings.
There we go.
The Bissell Pet Stain Eraser Power Brush loosens, lifts, and erases stains and odors, reaching deep into fibers.
So,
it doesn't leave
10
behind
day.
what carpet sprays do. Plus, with its
I liked it because
convenience
on the
formula,
10 day, was it the 10 day?
it's always ready. So you're
So we still have room to grow, to go to get to 53. I mean, it seems to be this is the level of resistance that it's having a hard time breaking.
Kids in Need of Desks is a partnership I created with UNICEF
5089.
to bring desks to schools in Africa and to provide.
Seeing that we're currently 10 cents away from it. We could see a pop today.
Right now, Columbus,
We can
Ohio,
definitely see a pop
University
today.
of Medical
Although it did go up
Center.
pre-market, so
Moments
it is a
from
little
now,
high. I'm thinking this can go a
will
little.
be arriving with their first
Might drop a little
dose of
before
vaccines.
I get
The
into it.
special refrigerators have already been brought into the building. Those vaccines will be distributed to healthcare workers. I want to bring in my colleague Gabe Gutierrez. Is there?
All right, so
I
back to
can't
Neo.
see you, but I can hear you.
We're gonna see if we can just give it. If this doesn't go
There you are, showing us this hospital.
high at the bell.
What's happening?
Hey there, Stephanie. I want to get out of the way here. You can see the UPS truck. Actually, the shot is showing a FedEx truck. That's
I just might up my exit, to be honest with you.
Loading dock. Hospital staff had actually gathered around.
I mean, I'm literally 5 cents
You see that FedEx truck as it's back
in the red
that UPS
from
truck
where I got
right
it.
behind it. Loading
So.
dock 10 right there. The governor waited for it, and they're now receiving it right now. Now, Stephanie, this is a historic moment as this.
So we're seeing these waves right now. They're currently doing higher highs and higher lows. So it's been doing that the entire time. So I think I do see Neo spiking today. How far up, I don't know. Because, you know, it could move $1.50, it could move $2 going up. It could just shoot up 80 cents a dollar real quick, and then before it declines, since it's already dropped so much. And it hasn't even recovered half of it, to be honest with you. I mean, so that's why I'm not too worried about where it's at right now.
Back a number of months ago, this is where it hit the hardest. And this facility in Long Island,
But we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely been a battle with the Bulls and the Bears.
Over 100,000 COVID patients. And at one point back in April, we had over 3,500 patients in our hospils. And as you said, we are the largest health system.
I'm looking, I mean, I would love to get a 55 cents pop on this, which I know I can get. If it maintains in this area here, where it's at now, and then it could pop up, we'll see. But the way it's looking, it might just drop at the bell. I mean, it's to be honest with you, I mean, it's right at the average, so this can go either way. It did drop, so from 41.69, so 30, like $2, man. 41.69, right here, 41.87.
You have to continue to comply with safety
$42.
standards, even though the vaccine is going to be distributed over the next couple of months.
Yeah, 2 and change.
If we're going to be successful here, as you know very well. So again, Governor, we thank you for your extraordinary leadership. And with that, let me turn it over to Dr. Chester And then, and with Sandra here. Sandra is a critical care nurse, has been on the front lines all during the crisis, is a director in critical care.
They're recording the first vaccine shot given right now. So I don't know if Pfizer's going to pop up after this.
Dr. Chester, we'll turn it over to you.
I mean, it's already trading high. I still think it has room to grow. I mean, I think because of the news of the vaccine being distributed out and this person getting their first shot of the vaccine, I think this might go. UPS too. UPS is doing. Let's see. UPS was another one. Look at that, man. Look at that. So pre-market, but you know that was around this time, was it? Yeah. Okay.
So, Sandra, you didn't flinch. I take it that Dr. Chester has a good touch.
She has a good touch, and it didn't feel any different from taking any other vaccine.
Great. Dr. Chester, it all worked. The kid from your end?
Everything worked perfectly. Thank you.
And you're feeling well?
All right. Let's see.
I would like to thank
I'm not a believer in pre-market. I've been somewhat successful with pre-market, but that's only because of the Momo stocks. Momo stocks, they tend to go pre-market. If you can catch that first pop, you're good. But Neo's a decent pre-market mover, especially after it's dropped. It does reclaim a lot of it back, and I've been getting too high from where it dropped at. I mean, I'm literally 4 or 5 cents, 6 cents, 4 cents away from where I bought it at. So 4 minutes left till the bell rings. We'll see how far up this can go for us.
And so I trust signs. What I don't trust is that if I contract COVID, I don't know how it will impact me or those who I come in contact with. So I encourage everyone to take the vaccine.
You said it very well, Sandra.
We're public confident that the vaccine is safe. We're in a pandemic, and so we all need to do our part to put an end to the pandemic and to not give up so soon. There's light at the end of the tunnel, but we still need to continue to wear our masks, to social distance. I believe in science. As a nurse, my practice is guided by science, and so I trust science. What I don't trust is that if I contract COVID, I don't know how it will impact me or those who I come in contact with. So I encourage everyone to take the vaccine.
You said it very well, Sandra. We trust science here in the state of New York. Federal government approved the vaccine. We then had New York State have a separate panel that also approved the vaccine. And we've been following the science all along. I hope this gives you and the healthcare workers who are battling this every day a sense of security and safety and a little more confidence in doing your job once the second vaccine has been administered. In New York, we prioritized healthcare workers at the top of the list to receive the vaccine because we know that you are out there every day putting your lives in danger for the rest of us. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep you safe. And the point about New Yorkers and Americans having to do their part and take the vaccine, because the vaccine only works if the American people take it.
They estimate we need 75% to 85% of Americans to take the vaccine for it to be effective. So every American has to do their part.
All right, I'm just looking for a 30 cents gain. So let's see if we can get there. We're not far from it.
It's critical mass.
I would like to get out of that gain before the bell rings. See if we can pop up those 16 cents that needed to go. Just 16 cents. Oh, looks like we're going to be in this.
And hopefully when we get to about June, they estimate the vaccine can hit critical mass. But the healthcare workers will get it first, because we know that you're super stressed during this holiday season. So God bless you. I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for what you do.
Pfizer's going up.
Everybody knows how brave you are.
Pfizer might drop when the bell rings. I'm thinking Neo's going to drop when the bell rings as well.
When they use the word heroes,
It's just gone up too much right before the bell rings for it not to drop. It either keeps going up now and then drops when the bell rings, or is maybe there's just a little pullback for another pop. I don't need it to go that much more, man.
Thank you. When my time comes,
Come on.
When my time comes, I want Dr. Chester. I like her stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, God.
Alright, with 35 seconds left of the bell rings, I'm going to go ahead and remove this.
Nurse Sandra Lindsay is the first person in the United States to be receiving a vaccine. A healthcare worker, a critical care nurse who right there urged all American people to take the vaccine when it's available to them, but until then, take every possible precaution. Wash your hands, wear a mask, watch your distance. History made this morning. I want to go back to Gabe Gutierrez in Columbus, Ohio. Gabe, I had to leave you. I know healthcare workers there are waiting as the vaccine is being unloaded from that UPS truck. But just moments ago, here in New York, in Queens, at Long Island Jewish Hospital, we saw a critical care nurse get the first vaccine. What's happening where you are?
Yeah, Stephanie, incredible to see that happen in New York City, the first epicenter of this virus in the U.S. But as we know, Stephanie, this virus has spread throughout so much of this country, including the Midwest. And here in Ohio, just a few moments ago, that UPS truck brought the first coronavirus vaccines to the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. The governor and other hospital staff met that UPS truck. We understand the vaccine is now being unloaded, and it's expected to be distributed to between 20 and 30 frontline workers in about the next hour or so. The timing is good. But Stephanie, again, this is a historic moment to see this happen after such a devastating year. The hospital workers that we have been speaking with say that this could be the beginning of the end of this pandemic. But again, the vaccine doses just arrived here. This is something that we're starting to see more and more throughout the morning as UPS and FedEx trucks make their way across the country. I just heard from a hospital source in the Dakotas. It's already starting to arrive there as well.
4:13.
4 hours ahead of schedule in North Dakota. But that's going to be the challenge, Stephanie. How can this
And we are done for the day, ladies and gentlemen. So we took a small little base hit, being that was a resistance that it was having trouble breaking in pre-market. I did want to get a little more out of this, but we did to get a base hit, so I think we're good.
Help is on the way. We're watching it all.
I think
this morning, history being made. Let's bring
if Pfizer sells off, as I knew it would, I think I initially wanted to sell it here at 40.43 for that 55 cents pop.
everyone's problem.
But
Doctor, this is an incredible.
in hindsight, I think I should have just kept it where it was at, because now it just reached it and it just broke it, as we can see that. So it's one of the reasons why I don't like to buy pre-market, because I could have missed out on this entire run. Look, I missed out on this entire run right here because of having so much, being in this thing for almost 2 hours pre-market, hoping that this was going to pop up to here, seeing as it normally does.
Obviously, your world of expertise. We know how much.
And the Neo just flying high right now. So I think Neo maybe will go to like 41.
Of the vaccine is particularly.
I think Neo hit 41 today.
Among African Americans.
I think at most it probably goes to 41.31.
So, it stems from a long history.
I'm not saying that it can't go any higher, but it's already gained so much of what it lost back. I mean, 41.30 is.
And productive. There are
Hold on,
ongoing
let me see.
disparities in healthcare. Many people in communities of color still remember so many egregious crimes against them from the time of
42.31 is the resistance of Friday.
Experiences of discrimination. So it's not surprising that mistrust is there in terms of what science could do to harm people. But people need to remember that there have been lots of changes in the way science is conducted.
So I think 4090, 4090, it's where it's possibly
much more racially and ethnically diverse.
the highest I think will be 4130. If not, the resistance of yesterday. But I don't think it'll pass that. I mean, it's just way too much. I think in the following days it can go higher.
What do we need to do right now to help our most vulnerable communities? We know how the pandemic has hit them, but we also know come January, more and more people are going to become food insecure. They're going to lose their homes. People are losing their jobs. What do we need to do right now beyond logistics plans for the distribution of the vaccine, which is months away?
Well, I think we all need to, public health professionals, people in the media.
All right, so we're done for the day. Finished early. Neo did fly a little higher for us than, which was real nice.
Organizations, businesses, schools, they need to work.
As it starts to come back down now, so the high of that candle was 40.69. So where I wanted to sell it was right.
How to protect themselves.
Should have just stuck with my.
And to help them.
That's one of the reasons why you
in the safety of the vaccine. I think we need to have people who are frontline healthcare workers.
You don't do pre-market.
We just saw who stepped up to the plate and gave her testimony. And
that just might be the resistance. I mean,
we all need to work together to
40.69 is having a hard time breaking that,
and that they can make an informed decision about this. We can't force anybody to take the vaccine, and we wouldn't want to do that. I think everyone has to make their own decision, but it needs to be an informed decision, and they should seek out trusted physicians, nurses. We really need to work with people who are in those local communities who understand the concerns.
I think Neo without question, it's gonna skyrocket back to where it came from.
Is there an immediate policy change or government action that could help?
As we can see, that is wanting to reclaim. Wow, this is insane. Neo is insane, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the country
should have just.
Local and national leaders.
Yeah,
things like the economic stimulus package.
I find it frustrating because, I mean, I guess I got FOMO because I saw Neo drop.
Right now, we need to make sure their health insurance benefits are continued. So
I saw Neo drop, and I'm like, oh, this dropped hard. It's not gonna get any lower than that. It didn't go much lower than what I bought in at, and I knew it was gonna go higher. But wanting to take these base hits to build up this capital, the safe way. I sold it at the resistance that I was having an issue at. So it broke that, then it came back down, and then it kept going further up. Right now it's tapping the resistance at the deviation lines.
forward to reading your
Zoom
book.
is going up for
We
us.
choose to make this the topic, but let this pandemic be a reason we start to really focus on health equity.
Yeah, so I'm still holding Zoom. If Zoom doesn't reach my price of what I want to sell it at, then I will just unload
Right
it.
there, a UPS truck. It's making its way to the university hospital. Where
It's just holding up too much capital
of their vaccines later
for a small
today.
gain.
With us. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come
So
back,
hopefully this thing go for us. So we'll see.
This historic day. We held a in New York just a few moments ago. A critical care nurse.
Neil, I think the highest Neil will go is
Columbus, Ohio,
41.30.
getting their shipment, and those shipments are making their way across this.
And that's the resistance of yesterday. That's not even, or of Friday. That's not even the high of Friday.
Made some noise. Well, Big Blue is getting red hot. So if you want to see two teams with playoff ambitions, we'll see you Sunday night. Browns, Giants on NBC.
Dash. Disney.
It's amazing to see him in the wild like this.
Oh. Dash is oversold, bro.
That's right. Subway is open and serving footlongs contact-free. Order in the app for quick and easy pickup. Or get contact-free curbside pickup. Staying home? Get
I don't.
So many ways to get footlongs contact-free.
I don't.
At Fidelity, you'll work with an advisor.
I don't know if I would buy Dash long term. It's not something. It's not a company I believe. I think it's overpriced at what it's at now, to be honest with you.
At Fidelity, you can have both.
Concrete is fundamental to every structure. To build a house, you need a
I mean, I know it's a strong company, but I still think it's overpriced. I mean, Uber, I think it does both food deliveries and the share taxi, or the share ride. And that's not this expensive. This just does food. That's all this does.
Hey there, Robert Larson.
I don't know.
You know,
Airbnb. Now that
home security without having to leave your house or have
is
anyone to come install it. You simply order it online.
something I am very interested in.
Yourself in just a few minutes.
You can see it's still continuing to sell off.
So take it from an expert. Get Simply Safe and protect your home, your family, and anything else you need to keep a close eye on.
I don't know. I have a lot of money set aside for this stock to hold for a very long time. So, the tricky thing about IPOs is you can't gauge where they're, what they do. I mean, you have to do it, day by day. So you got to use the tools that you have at your disposal. So what's one of our tools at our disposal is checking the
It's available in multiple finishes and you can install it yourself in just minutes.
checking the charts. So here we go here. This is where it opened, and you can see that it went down the very next day, came back up, having a resistance, as of right now, having a resistance of there.
Selling home is expensive and stressful. So we set out to create a better home selling experience. With a
So
network
this
of
being the level of
successful
support,
in America.
that being the level of resistance, then it broke that level of support, continuing to go further. This being the new level of support, seeing how it almost came down here, finally came here, bounced up, came here. So we could see definitely maybe.
Best results.
So this was just any other stock. I would say, and seeing what this thing moves on average, right?
Busy news day as we await more vaccine arrivals. We got to cover the other big story of the day. Nearly 6 weeks after election
What does
day,
this move on
normal
average?
schedule, Joe Biden is set to officially become
So we know from this
when electors
point,
from all 50 states meet at their state capitals to officially cast their votes. what's usually just a formality now carries a lot of weight.
41,
After President
45.
Trump and his allies,
It's like a $6 gain right there. And then on pops, like from here, see we're getting halfway here, 45, 57.
they've even gone so far as to
That's not bad.
undermine our democracy.
It's not bad. So it does move nice pops. It has nice pops.
For President Trump. For this very reason, several states are taking
So
extra
right
steps to make
now,
the process
to
more
day
transparent
trade it,
and
I
to
think
keep
it's
the
prime to get in right now
elections
for a day trade. It's
safe.
definitely where it's
With more
at.
reporters covering every angle of this story, Vaughn Hilliard in
It's
Lansing,
definitely
Michigan,
nice.
Mara Barrett in
I get in this for
Harrisburg,
about
PA,
a dollar
and
jump.
outside the White House. Vaughn, the Michigan House and Senate are actually closing their offices today. And
I can't get in anything. I already used up half my capital. This is the small count challenge that I've been doing with you guys. So I used half of my capital one day, the other half the next. So right now it's perfect where it's at, I think. So you have your, it has support right here at 129. I think maybe we wait to see for this candle to form going into the next. Now if it looks like it's going to start to pop, get that anticipation, seeing that we're right now using this as support, being that it's already low, it's already dropped some momentum. I would jump into this going right into the next minute. So doing that kind of red to green move off of support, seeing that everything is looking for us to go in as our lines cross here, it's above the so I would jump in right here. I would just go in right there, and at 130 I would sell this at 131. So right here at this resistance, 131.42. Getting in at it right here at 130.06.
The Monday after the second Wednesday of December, it's a very serious nature in which these events are taking place.
Expect a little bit of a little whiplash.
Vaughn, thank you.
And then a nice little high.
Storm the Capitol. Those are domestic terrorists. They have nothing to do with following the law. Mara, take us to Pennsylvania, which has been the center of a number of the president's absolutely failed, and I'm going to say it, completely embarrassing lawsuits. Are officials there worried about any possible issues?
Well, Stephanie, this is the site where we saw hundreds of folks gather when the race was called for Joe Biden. They were both in and against that declaration. And of course, Pennsylvania was an extremely contentious state leading up to the election.
I knew New York was going to do that.
But it's interesting to note, as we watch what might happen here today outside the building, inside the Capitol building at 12 p.m. Eastern is when the state's
I mean, I would just going off of what I would do. I would have got in at 130.06.
State voted in the popular vote. Of course, Pennsylvania.
And saw that 131.42.
And what's interesting as well is that the Pennsylvania Republican lawmakers just
it can reach it. I know it can reach it. I know it's going to get there. I'll even put a price alert at that level.
The president calling the House GOP speaker here twice just last week, and so I reached out this
42
morning to the Pennsylvania Republicans to see if today, after that final vote, if they will accept the results for President Joe Biden. We have not.
I know it's going to reach it.
This all, as Pennsylvania has been a closely watched race leading up to the election and after, with all of these lawsuits that we've been tracking, this will finally be a once and for all end to any question of Joe Biden's presidency. Stephanie?
There are no questions, but Carol, take us to the president, who is stomping around the Oval Office.
It's insane how Neo
But besides his desire
just
to raise more money from his supporters, what in the world is going on here?
I mean, it reached.
Yeah, it's a great question, Steph. I think what you're going to see from the president is more of the same in terms
The
of
pinnacle of the fall. It's already gained everything that it lost pre-market.
Over the weekend, this is not over, saying that he would push quote-unquote local cases after that significant
literally
from the Supreme Court, where the president lashed out and said that the Supreme Court had chickened out and because it
About
rejected
$1.30, $1.40
case out of
from its
Texas,
high.
and the president tweeting recently
Pre-market.
saying we have just begun
Or
to
after
fight.
hours.
But as you noted, this is a fight that's
On
been going on
Friday.
for more than a month, and dozens of legal cases that have just been rejected by court after court, and yet the president says that he's going to continue to fight on. What some of his allies are looking at now, Steph, is January 6th, that date that Congress needs to tally the election.
I don't know. I don't know how to gauge these IPOs like that. I'm going based off what the movements are so far. So it is trading a lot lower than, I mean, it looks like it just keeps going down. But we can expect for this thing to move $4 or $5 on pops. So for this to reach, even it being down, just what, $1 and change, $2 from where you want, from where I said to get in at, for what I would sell it at. I can easily do that and then reach that and then possibly continue to go down until it reaches the bottom for day trading it. But if I'm going to hold on to this, I'm going to hold on to this. I want to get in at a good price, man. So right now, we day traded, get out at 131.42.
Has successfully is raised a whole lot of money for himself.
Long term, I want this to drop a little more, to be honest with you.
Presidents can't do
because I know this company is gonna skyrocket.
He's not the next president of the United States. Everyone knows that. However, for the 125 Republican lawmakers that signed on to the Texas lawsuit, won't this impact how our democracy works in the future? We know they know he's not the next president.
Well, we're already seeing some impact on this just in that runoff.
We had such great progress, amazing progress with this, and then you just go ahead and go boom.
Election that was rigged, and that somehow that happened then, and that's what will happen next month when that election takes place. And you've seen Republicans have to come out and explicitly explain, including the incumbent senators who are running for re-election.
I know it's going to go back up, but
we're fixing the system.
This is
the
dumb.
system was broken on November 3rd, but it's going to be fine next month. So we're already seeing some of those consequences, and this is something that experts and people who've been studying elections for a long time think that it could be with us for cycles.
This is the vaccine. That's what this is.
To me, though, the
That's the
rationale,
vaccine
because while the president lost the election, Republican lost at the top of the ticket, they did really well as far as it relates to some governors, congressmen, and senators. So are they saying the election on November 3rd was A-OK, worked well for most of us, just not for the big guy? Well, how does that argument work?
It's a lot of mixed messaging, as you've seen, and we've seen a number of Republicans come out and try to thread the needle on this, and it's tricky, and it's not necessarily working. When you see those polling numbers that think that, where a number of Republicans think that this election was indeed fraudulent and was taken from the president, it shows that the president's effort is having an impact, and it will have an impact on future elections, and it is potentially have an impact on this one that could decide who controls the Senate in January.
It is extraordinary. Carol, thank you so much. Vaughn, Mara, a very, very important day. It becomes official on schedule.
That's the vaccine. That's what that is. That's why this dropped like that.
That's when
I'm going to give it to the end of the day and take that loss.
Or disruptions, despite the president's baseless and expensive lawsuits.
Well, we're good, man.
Congress, because this morning there could be new signs of
I already held this stock longer than I've wanted to. So wait for this to take a little pop and take that small loss.
The first bill will be $748 billion for things like small business loans, job benefits, and vaccine distribution. Things we need immediately. We've needed for months. The other bill will have $160 billion to fund state and local governments and provide liability protection for businesses.
Insane. All right, so
the clock is ticking on all of these things.
Recap real quick
at the end of this year.
what we did.
Aside from just how desperate things have become. The Washington
What
Post
maybe in hindsight you'd want to avoid.
Shoplifting food.
Okay, so we got in
Formula, diapers.
literally.
So they don't go hungry. They're basic necessities. I want to bring in Politico senior Washington correspondent and Playbook co-author, my friend Anna Palmer. Anna, Do these proposals seem like they had any shot?
I got in right here in this
candle.
candle.
Because every day that passes,
right here.
People are losing their homes. People are going hungry. People are sick.
I mean, as you explained, it's a really dire situation.
So
I do think that
I saw the momentum.
on Congress. Right now, there are 5 days until it's
I saw it going up, but I couldn't buy here. I was able to buy this being the 4 a.m. candle where we're allowed to buy, and this being the 4:01 candle. I anticipated for this when I got in to keep going, right? As you see here, as our flags pop up finally. It didn't go. It went up a little bit. That being the first level of resistance. I'm like, no, I know this stock is going to keep going. I'm going to sell it here. So I originally was waiting for it to go here. Normally when NEO drops, when it dropped, it recovers a lot of that, and it recovers a lot of that pre-market. Being that everything was underneath, my lines and everything, seeing that this was going to skyrocket up. So it's not too far-fetched. I mean, you know, what I wanted there was just basically, 70 cents? Knowing that they can do that, because NEO as of late has been, you know, a 55 cents pop, a $1.50 run. So I'm thinking, okay, I can go in between that. So then I bought 2 more shares here as it dropped a little more, and I figured, okay, so let me lower my cost base a little bit, and then it kept going and traded on the same level, and then it reached this level right here, which was 40.16, which is what I sold it at, or I think I sold it at 40.13. I should have sold it at 40.16. So I'm thinking, okay, so it gave me two shots to sell it there, and I'm like, no, this can go higher. I still want to sell it here. After it dropped, and it dropped even more, I'm like, you know what? That level of resistance seems looks real nice. And since we're trying to take a base hit, I figure we'll probably get to that. So holding it into the bell when the bell rang, thinking that this thing would maybe pop to where I wanted it to go, maybe a few cents higher, and it did. It even surpassed where I originally wanted to sell it at, thinking that I can get to that. And it did pass that. So something you don't want to do is pre-market. You know, the volume is not there all the time, and you know it can. And then the spread is so far apart. Sometimes a lot of misleading shit can happen pre-market. So the other day I broke my rule with Zoom on buying on the first candle, and I paid the price for that. Today I broke a rule for not buying pre-market anymore, unless it's like a Momo stock and like the news we get ahead of time, we know it's going to pop, and then we'll go like Pfizer. I thought Pfizer was going to pop. I initially was looking at Pfizer. Pfizer did go up pre-market, but I thought it was going to go up even higher, and I wanted to be part of the wave. Seeing that today was going to be the first injection of the vaccine, wasn't able to, it was already too high, and I was like, no, this is going to sell off. I gauged it at 4 in the morning to see what it would do, and it didn't do anything. NEO, on the other hand, was doing little mini waves. So anyway, so you know, you'll miss a lot of the great opportunities if you buy pre-market. Seeing that this is not a Momo stock, you know. Look, if I would have bought here on the second candle right here, even at 40.07, for example, halfway in, let's just say, I probably would put it, you know, so 50 cents. So right here, I would have sold it right there. So I would have made more money than I did, so I shorted myself 20 cents for jumping in on this pre-market. Wanted to get a base hit, being discouraged already that it already passed, that it already it gave me 2 opportunities to sell right here after this massive run. I'm like, oh,
On this day, Joe Biden will officially.
So, you know, you miss money out, man. So I did make a profit, a small profit, but I could have made more. So there we go, breaking a rule. So you learn from your mistakes. So don't buy on the first candle, at least I don't, and don't buy pre-market unless it's dramatically down. Like it's way down here pre-market, like in the blue, and you know it's really nothing major, but just what this is, which is you know offering stocks for advertising. So
stay tuned. We have a lot to cover today. Thank you for watching.
Not much, man.
Here in New York with you.
Let's be honest, quitting smoking is hard. Like quitting every Monday hard. Quitting feels so big. So try making it smaller, and you'll be surprised at how easily starting small can lead to something big. Start stopping with Nicorette.
Alright guys, so we're green on Neo.
Brought to you by CarShield. I'm your host, Chris Berman. If your car is out of warranty or close to expiring, CarShield makes sure
we're green on Neo. In hindsight, I should have just waited for the bell. I did think that it was going to do decent. I think maybe it's reached its peak for the day. I think 40.88. Maybe its peak. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe we could do a DraftKings where it sells off and then just passes everything, goes to overbought. It took the whole day, but I mean, an amazing run.
Around my car. I never have to worry about being taken advantage of when it comes to car repairs.
I want Neo to go up more. I mean, honestly, I might trade Neo tomorrow if I sell this bad boy today. I think I just might do that. I think just to make my money back. I think I might get rid of it. I love Neo. Neo is one of the stocks that kept me green most of the time. I have more of a love than a hate relationship with Neo. Neo's been good to me. Except for one, when I did the options on Neo, thinking it was going to go down, and then I'm going up. So, as of right now, Neo is it's still going to be a hot stock, definitely. No more wondering or being worried that it's going to get delisted. At least for the next 3 years, it's fine. Neo Day is coming. I can actually pull it up real quick so you can see before I get out of here.
So you can start investing today, wherever you are, even hanging with your dog. So, what are you waiting for? Download now and get your first stock on us, Robinhood.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America that'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake with the ideal agent was that we saved $12,000 in commission.
They were so stress-free, the whole...
So this is Neo Day.
And I would definitely recommend them.
We are not a discount brokerage. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
January 9th, the EV Makers Annual Neo Day, which is customarily held in December, has been pushed back.
I love Carpe. It's the only thing that's ever worked for me. Now I don't sweat.
Get Carpe today with holiday savings of up to 30% off.
Time for new reading glasses? Go to readers.com. Choose from hundreds of styles and colors for under $20. And now, enter this exclusive TV coupon code at checkout to save up to 40%. That's readers.com.
So there you go, guys. Why I think Neo is still going to be a great play. So XBEV or XPEV, EXPEV, I think, XPEV, had debuted recently, way after Neo, and skyrocketed up because, you know, in China they like sedans. Neo doesn't have one, but now Neo is coming out with one.
This is the light at the end of the tunnel.
So that might skyrocket this thing up real nice. So
Ahead, the nation's top
I don't think that Neo's going to go. I mean, I think Neo'll still go down to 38, 39, 50.
As America reaches the terrible milestone of 300,000 lives lost and more
39.50,
hospitals.
$39 or
Not the
38.50.
only breaking news as we come on the air. As of the start of
For me, it's still great because I can capitalize on that. See, if I sell this at a loss, which looks like I'm going to,
as President Trump works to lock down any more Republicans for his push to overturn the results. We'll talk about what today's deadline means for that, but we begin not with politics, but with the pandemic.
I will buy Neo tomorrow. So if Neo continues, let me tell you how confident I am in Neo.
In Providence, Rhode Island, Morgan Chesky,
So
Louisville, Kentucky, and Monica Alba over at the White House. NBC News senior medical
with the whole sedan thing and this whole
Gabe, let me start with you. You're at a medical center there, setting up for the first
offering.
vaccine. One that we know of publicly already. That
Neo is still a great contender. So if Neo maintains where it's at right now, maybe drops a little more, I will buy max share size I can afford and hold this for a couple days, for like a week or so, to reach its 46. I know it's going to go to 46, 47. I don't know, but I doubt it'll go today, but we'll see.
First coronavirus vaccine coming here to the state of Ohio. We're at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and we expect within the next hour or so that vaccine will be brought to another building where several frontline workers will get vaccinated. We expect between 20
so discouraging because of the vaccine. Some of these stocks are fucking going down. Some are skyrocketing up real nice. Roku, I knew Roku was gonna go down. I mean, who didn't see that, man? After doing this, so it sold off pretty hard right here. Right? From 327 to 304. That's insane when it drops. The next day recovers half of that. The next day recovers the rest of it and then goes higher. So I'm all for riding the horse, but today I knew Roku was gonna just go down hard. I mean, it's doing that right now. So Roku's going down, Zoom is going down. Shop is a monster.
Well, first of all, there's some media here.
Charts aren't too nice, but I mean,
walked over from that building to another building.
149. 149 to 162 in 2 minutes. Wow, that's just insane, man.
A huge number of coronavirus cases here, nearly 200 hospitalizations reported just yesterday. And the frontline workers we've been speaking with, though, say that they hope that this might.
You could buy like 4 shares of the stock with a $15 trigger, easy. Because I mean, from this candle from 1050, 1060 to this candle 1062, so maybe $12.50 trigger if you want to get out of this in 1 minute. Because we know 1 minute can move $12.
That it is significant for them as well, emotional, also in some ways challenging.
We just have to wait for Zoom to.
They just can't do that.
Hopefully skyrocket for us today.
It's incredibly.
Okay, guys, so I am done for the day. We went super early on Neo. We tried to catch that drop. It didn't go further. It didn't go that much further up than what I bought it, than what I wanted to sell it at. So
workers are not going to be able to get a vaccine.
I guess, you know, I missed out on 20 extra cents. 30, 20 extra cents. I missed out on 20 extra cents. 20 extra cents could have made a small difference. But we're green for the day. We're waiting for our swing stock to trade or to sell. I will put a trigger on this. Doubtful it'll get to what I want to sell at today. But used to have one ready set to go. I will sell this today if it doesn't reach my
She was also, Hallie, on the subcommittee
that
my
decided this
trigger.
morning and gave the final green light for these vaccines to make a go in the state of Rhode Island. Dr. Tashima, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Very much appreciate it. You guys voted early this morning at 7:30 a.m. and I assume you voted yes. It is a go for vaccines to be distributed throughout the state of Rhode Island. How are you feeling this morning?
Really excited, along with a lot of my colleagues.
What are you most worried about the distribution of this vaccine?
I'm not really that worried. I'm very excited to be starting the clinics today, and we're starting out kind of slowly because we're not getting a whole lot of doses. So we'll see how our healthcare workers do. I think we have a incredibly organized setup, and it'll be safe. And
all right, so my trigger is way up there at the beyond the overbought region. Doubt it's gonna get there, but I don't want to hold this longer than I have to. I already held it for a lot longer than I would like to, so I'm gonna wait for this to hit small loss. So I am definitely gonna go. I did want to go green the entire month, like just every single day green. But you know, we can't make that happen if it doesn't go our way. So if the setup is there and you get in and it just boom goes the wrong way, then have an exit strategy. Use a stop loss. Stop the bleeding real quick. You can always go back in the next day. That's the unfortunate thing is that if you knowing that you can only do one trade, or depending on how to use your capital, but let's just say one trade a day, you can go red. You can't recover that until the following day. So you know. But you know, that's why we try to take these base hits. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might more likely sell this thing today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's been awesome. I hope you guys are making money. Everything looks good. The markets were red. Markets were red pre-market, but the markets are up real nice. So I don't know why Zoom is selling off. The Nasdaq is doing nice. There's nothing in here. The only thing it is the vaccine. That's all. That's the only reason I can think of why this thing is selling off, because of the vaccine news. So we'll see.
More than 50 locations made their first delivery today. One of the presidents of UPS telling me that the very first shipment from UPS
we'll see what happens. All right, guys, have a good one, and I will see you guys in the morning. More morning.